everybody, this is Stacy. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to show you how to make the inside of this album. If you remember in the other video, we made the cover, and I will put the link to that video below. I will also put a link to my blog where you can find the cut list for this. So I'll give you all the measurements and all that good stuff. So we are going to make the inside of these, and depending on how long this takes, I may break this up into small segments. So we'll see. Today we're going to make this flap pocket here. Yeah, or right now, actually. Right now we're gonna make this flap pocket. So what you're gonna need is, you're gonna need a piece of transparency that is 11 by 2 3/4. You're going to need a piece of either your designer paper or cardstock. That is 2 3/4 by 11. Then you're going to need 2 strips that are going to be 11 1/8 by 1 inch. I have accidentally cut these short, but when we get going, you'll see why they need to be a little bit longer. And then you're going to need 2 strips, 2 small strips cut 2 3/4 by 1 1/4, and you'll be scoring at 1/2, 3/4, and 5/8. And like I said, if you don't catch this, everything is over on the blog. You know, you can screenshot it, print it out, and then you know, come back here. So these get folded kind of funky. What I did in the pocket is I made a gusset so the pocket could expand. I made mine too big. I ended up putting some Velcro in the middle, the center of the pocket, to hold it closed because everything was falling out. So this is going to be a smaller gusset, so you can still get stuff in and out easily, but it's not going to fall out. So the reason why there's so many score lines, so what you want to do here is you want to fold it down the center first, and then you're going to score on, or fold it on that 1/8 inch that way, flip it over and fold it up. So what you're doing is you're just creating a little M or W, depending on how you hold it, but you want that little valley to be in the middle. So what we're gonna do is one of these for the bottom of this, and we're going to peel just 1 strip off, and I better do everything up here so you can see, right? I'm going to, where's my pick at? There it is. Okay, so you're gonna peel one side off. You're gonna take your cardstock and make sure you measure, measure fit everything. So make sure that, this is the right size before you do this. It's not too big, it's not too little, that kind of thing. So, and actually, I've just felt that. It felt a little too big, but I'm gonna roll with it. So we'll take this, but I don't want you to do that. You do it the right way. So we're gonna take this and we are going to stick this down in here. Oh. If we can. Okay, so that's gonna be your bottom. Okay, and then we wanna take our sides and we're gonna do the same thing. But before we do that, you have to decide, you have to make a decision here. So do you want your sides just to be straight like that, or do you want to cut them? What I usually do is I cut them at an angle so that it's like a mitered corner. So we're gonna put these on now. I'm gonna take a strip off the back. Put these on. Oh. Nope. There we go. I'm all thumbs. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm recording or what. or maybe because I can't lean over the project. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna flip this around until I get it. Okay. Until I can see what I'm doing and it stops sticking to everything. Because you gotta be careful. I don't want to shove it in that. I need it to be able to fold still, you know. So, okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing the other side. Hopefully, successfully. Let's see. Hopefully we can do it. Yep, yeah, that'll work. Okay. Take one of these off. I usually use the score tape. I don't usually use the red tape, but I am out of score tape, so. Oh, come on. Give me a break. I'd like a break, please. Okay, good. So there we have, that's the start. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to test fit my piece of the transparency, the acetate. If it's too tight, your acetate it'll bulge. So you want to make sure that when you are putting this in here and laying it down, that when you fold all these in, it's not going to bulge on you. Kind of fold these back. Get this centered in the middle. Well, here, let's do this first, because this will slide everywhere. Okay, so we want to take our little tapes off first. Take your backing off. So score tape works great for this. Really, I don't use glue for the acetate. I use score tape, and it works totally fine. And actually, I don't know how craft glue would do on this to hold your acetate down. I haven't tried, but you probably could use that Fabrifix. You probably could use you use glossy accents. Oh no, not that. That's my regular glue. But I do have some Fabrifix somewhere. You could probably use that too, and it'll stick together. Okay, so now let's put this in here. Without sticking it to anything. So center this up in the middle, line it all up, and I'm going to put my bottom down first. Okay, I'm gonna put my bottom down first. That will hold it in place. Okay, I almost forgot. Before we put these down, now that I've already taken the tape off and I'm risking all kinds of things, we're gonna want to put this along the edge. Now you can, if you are not sure about this acetate, if you think it's too thin, because it does come in different thicknesses. If you think it's too thin, then you need to do something like this, so it doesn't tear. If it's thick enough, then you can just run the decorative piece across the top. So I'm going to use the whole thing. If I can see this score tape's too wide. All right, come on. So this might go all wangly on me, we're gonna see. The reason why I don't do tutorials on everything is I feel like I'm not explaining things good, and then, you know, if you like make a mistake or whatever, then you have to go back and edit it and fix it and do all this stuff, and it is a lot of work. And then when I make things, you know, unless I'm following a pattern for something, I just kind of wing it. Here we go. is so hard to see, y'all. Okay. Let's see. Sorry if you can't see all of this, but I cannot see at all. Okay. Ooh, that might be right. That might be okay. I don't know. All right. And then, oh, yeah, don't take your tape off of there yet, because you're risking some stuff. Ooh. Is that gonna not fold right? No, it's okay. So I'm a little off, but there's a fix for that. So you just cut a strip of designer paper and put it there on the top, and you're good to go. This is really thick. This was probably not a great choice to make this pocket. Probably be better off with regular, well, I know because I've done it before, you're better off with regular cardstock, or just the designer paper. So yeah, so this is gonna be, mine's gonna look a little funky. Yours won't look like this. Okay, so there we go. Like I said, this one doesn't look so great. Yeah, and it buckled because it's too thick up here. I promise yours won't buckle. Okay, where's the book? So now that you've built your, your pocket, you just have to glue it in place, or tape it, or however you like to do. You know me, I like to do both, the tape and the glue. So hopefully we have enough. There's my little thing out. So much easier to cut the score tape if you have something to cut it with. Sorry, you probably can't see that. I'm just putting score tape on around it. Let's see, do I have enough love to do the top? No. Come on. Why is this being stubborn? There we go. Okay, you're seeing all this stuff. Now watch, I'll probably put this on crooked. Probably put it on crooked just for you. Okay, so line yourself stuff up. And then if you want to, you could always leave room for a little pocket under there, or in between this and the flap. Let's see, make sure you can see. Can you see? Yes, you can. Okay. And let's see. It's so crooked. Well, not crooked, but the ends. The ends are not good. Okay, there's our pocket. Ta-da! And you have a little bit of give here, but not a ton. Not a ton, because of our tiny little gussets on the side. So, okay, so mine's too big. See that? That's why you check your measurements before you put anything on. So you might want to check it again after you get your edges on, before you glue everything down, or glue that down. So, yeah. Okay, these little guys. 2 of these cut to 4 by 4.5, and you score 1/2 inch off the top. And these are little flaps that went under the pocket. So we're gonna put these down. Now, if you are, did I do it? No, I covered them up. Okay, I covered them up because I covered this. All right, so, one goes here. one goes here, and then I had something in the middle, that little owl dude, bird, whatever it was in the middle. You could totally do something else here. You could do a waterfall here. You could do, you know, whatever. Just have to think about how you're gonna keep this flap closed if you wanna keep it closed. So what I did was, under the designer paper, there was a magnet here. And then I put that little strip, the little guy, and there's a magnet there. So I'll show you here. I'll show you here. Okay, so there's a magnet here and a magnet here, and that holds everything down. So before you put any designer paper on, you know, you need to consider that as well. So we are going to, let's take the tape off of here. Whoop. And put these on. This is super easy. So find your middle. Mine's kind of hard to see, but looks kind of okay. It's kind of okay looking. And then put this other one down here. It's a little off. It's a little off, but it works. Okay, so, you know, do yours straight. If you need to, take a ruler, draw a line, and then set these down on the line. So that's that side right there. The next thing we're going to do, let's set this aside real quick. We are going to make the pages for the right side of the book. So we are making these pages here. And this is so easy, you guys. Okay, so what we need is, we need one piece of your cardstock or designer paper cut 8.5 by 10 5/8. And then we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So it's just scored straight down the middle, okay? Then for this one, we need a piece that is 11 across the top by 10 5/8. We're gonna score this at 5 1/2. So that one is also scored right in the middle. So to make this easier, that's why I took those frames and made the little tabs. So you can add, you know, you can make a tab with your punch board. You can add something to it to have it be a tab. Also, I ran these through my sewing machine. So if you're interested in doing something like that, gotta do it now before everything's put together. So then we're gonna need just a real simple hinge, a 1.5 inch hinge by 10 5/8, and you score it right down the middle at 3/4. And this will hold your pieces together. So what we're gonna do is we take these two pieces, put them fold to fold, okay, and we're gonna take the backing off of here, off of the tape, and I'm gonna actually turn these sideways. I think it might be easier. And push it down. There you go. Okay, move these out of the way. Okay, so now we have our pages. So easy, right? They just flip like that. So we are going to put those here. Let's see. I can't remember if I did this first. I might have put it on here first. I'm trying to remember. And then laid it down. I'm trying to think. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. Okay, so let me put some tape on here. Open part is going to face inward on the book. So we want to situate this way. So okay, we'll set that down. And then let me take that off and grab the scrapbook. And what you want to do is, okay, so here it is. It's open towards the center. So you want to line that up as best as you can down the middle of the first spine piece. I'm just going to, and since this is also, let me tell you too, this is 11 inches tall. This is cut at 10 5/8, so you're gonna have a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom. So keep that in mind as well. Anticipation's killing you, right? Okay, there we go. So that's pretty good. Hey, wow, that's straight. Okay, so you have a little bit of a gap on either side of this, probably about, let me show you. Probably gonna have about, looks like a 1/4 of an inch on both sides. So, okay, so we have our first set of pages in. Yay. Let's go over here to the middle. Now we're going to do the back portion here, which looks like this. So this is super easy too. And then if you want to change this up, you might want to do a waterfall or something completely different. So this part we're going to start with the top here. So what you need is a piece of your paper or cardstock, whatever you're using. 7.5 inches across the top, 9.5 inches down. We're going to score at 1/2 inch for your hinge here and 5 inches here. And this folds up this way. So you will also need to disguise some magnets or something too. So put this, and it goes right around there. So if you're wanting to hold this closed, you need to figure out before you set it down, are you going to, you know, or if there's more paper going on this, are we going to put a swing tab, you know, the little brad behind the paper? Are you going to put a magnet in and disguise that? So you got to figure that out. Okay, and then this had 2 flaps that were here when you opened it up. And again, you know what? You can make this longer. You know, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You could put another flap this way. So, and these 2 pieces are cut at 5.5 by 4 3/8, and you want to score at 1/2 inch, which is your hinge. Okay, and then this is real easy. So it's going to be folded up like this. So right underneath the hinge part at the top, just take your piece and you want to line it up. And I have an extra, I accidentally scored in the wrong spot. But this will be all covered up. It won't matter. Let's see. Might be easier to do it this way. I'm sorry, gang. If I just do more tutorials, I would get better, right? So it's like anything, you need to practice. So just line that up, and there's your flap for this side. And don't forget, you know, you also may want to do some fancy edges and all of that. So get your pieces cut out, run them through your die cut machine. Don't forget to do all that before you glue everything down. And that side. Okay. And let's see, of course it's a little bit off. It's off because I'm doing this on camera. That's why. Let's see if we can straighten it out. Jiminy crickets, guys. Let's see, did that work? Not really. Okay, I give up. All right, and then we're going to put our piece here. What I did with the hinges, if you're going to set this on top of your pretty paper, I cut out a strip and put it of that paper and put it across this to disguise the hinges. And I did that over here as well, under here and under here. So it just depends on, you know, depends on what you want to do. Okay, so let's fold this back and take the little tape off. So, and then you might want to miter the corners if you're going to do that too. These little corners here, cut them at an angle if you're going to disguise them with designer paper. So this is going to go, of course, get lined up in between the two spines on this back cover. And it doesn't go down very far. Let me stick it down and I will tell you about where it goes. Okay, what do we think? Is it straight? Oh, it's pretty straight. Okay, so that just sets down like this. And then also, you know, oh, I already mentioned that, you know, is how you're gonna hold this closed. So there we have your flip down, your flip open, and then your flip up. Super simple. Okay. Now we've got these two little flaps that were the pocket pieces. So this is, these are 4 inches by 12 inches. There's 2 of them. You want to score at 4 inches and you score at 8 inches. If you are, I want to mention too real quick, you probably noticed this is not, this is a 8.5 by 11 cardstock that I've been using. If you want to do it that way, it's the good idea to work your measurements out so you are putting a hinge where a score line would be. Does that make sense? So that way, you know, you won't have to like overlap 2 pieces or whatever. So for example, I measured this at 4 inches, or I measured this at 8 inches to here. This one is 4.5, with the half being the hinge. So try to strategically do it that way. For on the back of here, we are only going to do the 3 edges when we lay this down. So score tape, glue, whatever it is you use, down the 2 sides and across the bottom, because if you remember, these were pockets. So pencil, give me pencil. All right, so what I did was I just drew a line across the bottom there, and I'm gonna check that line and make sure it's straight so I know that I'm laying this stuff down, laying the pockets down straight. Yeah, almost a half on that side. Okay. So give me my little guys, and I am going to, let's see, am I gonna use glue? I might need to if I'm gonna do pockets. All right, see where I'm setting these down at. So I'm just making a couple little marks, and you know, if you're using pencil, make the marks really light. You can go back in and erase. The quick glue, Fabri-Tac. Can you see? Can you see? The stuff is amazing. I've used it before in another video, and like I've mentioned, it does have a strong odor to it because I think it has acetate in it. So, but it dries super quickly. On the bottom, you don't want to be gluing the wrong size, because then you'd be like me. That's something I would do. You don't want to do that. Let's see, can you see this? All right. I cracked myself up. But you guys know that. I think. Okay. So here's one. good. So I'm gonna do this. Okay. All right, moving right along. We are going to go to this side, these pages, and let me slide this out of the way here if I can. A little bit anyways. Okay, so the pages on the right. That's it. Surprise! So if you want to add more pages, you totally can. But I just have, you know, actually 2 pages, but it's 1 piece of paper folded in half. 10 across the top, 10 5/8 across the bottom, score at 6, and you'll have what looks like this. And then here is our other hinge I told you to make that matches the one on the other side that has no tape on it either. This has no tape on it either. Here I thought I was doing so well when I prepared everything last night. Little did I know. Okay, let's see. So let's go this way because it's going to be turned that way. So I can do that. Set this down on here. Okay. That's going to go like that. And these should be pretty well done. And same thing on this side. We're just going to center this up in the middle of our other spine piece. Oh, well, let's see if I can. Maybe I do. Maybe I do this way. Let me find. I was in the wrong spot. You're probably going, no, don't put it there. It's hard to see with this paper. Oh, it's so stressful. It's so stressful because you want it to go right in the middle. Ooh, I'm mashing my things. We're at the very end. So this flap turned into some little file folder pieces. So the first one is, see my notes? The first one is 11 lengthwise by 3. And what this does is this covers up this flap. On the inside, you've got a piece that is going to be 6 1/4 by 11 long, and you're going to score it at 3 3/4 from the tab side. This is kind of confusing, so you need to put your tabs in first, and I will show you. I'll be more specific in a minute. And then, so this small flap is going to cover up the inside here, okay? And this is going to fold like this. This one, this bigger one, is 7 3/4 across, 11 inches down, and you're going to score at 3 3/4 from the straight side. So this is why I want you to do your tabs first. So let me explain a little bit better. Okay. So what I want you to do is, if you're going to do tabs like I did and use your envelope punch board, cut your pieces out and do your tabs first. So, and here's how you're going to get them so they are in order. So they have a nice even spacing in between, and they're all the same size. So you want to take your punch board and you want to start with your smallest piece, and you are going to put this in your punch board at what I call 0. So it's going to get centered. The edge of this piece is going to be dead center, and you can see the metal piece inside, and I'm sure you guys have done this, and then you want to punch it. So it's going to be, just in case you haven't or you're not sure what I'm talking about, your edge, let's see, can you see that? Oh, I can't see that. Your edge is going to be in the middle of that center, right there. Okay, then we're gonna move this all the way over to this edge. We're gonna line this edge up at 2.5, and you're gonna punch. Okay, set that aside. We're gonna take our next piece, and we're gonna start that piece with this edge at 2.5, okay? And you're gonna punch, and then you're gonna move it all the way down to 5, and then you're gonna punch, okay? Now the next one, a little bit harder. You're going to start with the edge at 5, and then you're gonna move it down to 7.5. So you need a ruler, and you're going to line the ruler up on the 5 there, and you're gonna go down 1, let's see, I wanna make sure you can see it. So you're gonna line the ruler up there. I got stuffs in the way. You're gonna line your ruler here. Your paper will be at the 5, and you're gonna move it down 2.5 inches. So 1, 2.5, and punch. And that will give you these little tabs in succession. Okay, when you are done, you're gonna have these pieces left over. So you're going to need to cut them off. That looks about good. Oh. Hold the knife straight is helpful. Okay. See, so that works. Okay, so check. Look at this. I found this at a thrift store for, I don't know, $3 or something. This is a heavy duty, it's all metal in there, steel in there. This is a heavy duty punch. It does, because y'all have to look online for these. I don't know how old they are or whatever, but you got to find one. So it does your corners. It does a regular hole punch, and then it makes little slits. Let's see, do I have a scrap somewhere I could show you? Because it's kind of cool. Let me grab something. Okay. So here's a piece of cardstock. So you adjust this all the way up, and this is your corner rounder. Right? Look at that. Pretty cool. And then you can measure. You take your little slider thing, let's see, and slide it over, and then you can figure out, your measurements. And then it tells you, like, this side is for the corner and for the hole punch. And then you pull this out and flip it over for the tab side. But so let me do, well, you can see. Okay, so hole punch. Oh, look at that. I got it in the middle. Hole punch. And then this side is, don't forget to slide it over. That's one thing, though, you have to remember. And then this side cuts those little notches, those little slits. Isn't that cool? So it's like the best $3 I've ever spent in my life. I cut the tabs before I scored, because the way these go are kind of, it's kind of confusing. So make your tabs first, and then you're gonna score these other two pieces. So for this one, for example, you wanna score at 3 3/4 from the tab side, okay? So this is gonna go 3 3/4, score this side. For this one, the biggest piece, you're going to score at 3 3/4 from the straight side. Or, I could have measured it out the other way, but so yeah, I totally could have measured it out the other way. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know. So you're gonna put it in here on the straight side, and you're gonna score at 3 3/4 on the straight side. So, because when you fold these, okay, So the small one, this gets folded up this way and this tab is down. The large one, it gets folded this way and the tab is on the top. So the tab is on the bottom of this one and the top of this one. You have to put these pages together. You need a hinge. Again, 1.5 by 11. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. And the hinge is going to go, these 2 pages are gonna go back to back. I mean fold to fold. And the hinge is gonna go straight down the middle. Way, one at a time. This is, I'm pretty sure how I did it last time. I forget things too easily. Okay, so there's that one. And then this is going to go, not there. This is going to go here. So I'm gonna turn this over and line it up. Oh yeah, this is a lot easier. Why didn't I do it the first time? Okay. So this is the part that gets attached to the flap. And then you've got your turning page just like that. And then this one on the other side. And since I'm out of score tape, I am just gonna use my tape runner. So there's that side. And I'll need to trim that. And then this side. Okay, you have to keep it away from the hinge a little bit here because if it's sitting on the hinge, you're not gonna be able to close this. Okay. All right, there we go. So there is our book. I folded this side in first and then put this on top. And then if you remember, I had the tab here and the tab here. So this tab went over the top of this in the center. If you're going to do something similar, see, so that's how that opens. These pages go on the bottom, these go on the top. So alrighty, that's it, you guys. This video has been long enough. You've heard me ramble on way too long, and oh, there we go. It's stiff. I just want to say thank you real quick. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Again, I'll leave links down below to the blog and you'll find information there. And you guys have a great week and I will see you back here real soon. Thanks so much. Bye.